Yep.
Are you still burping, Olivia?
I don't know. I had pork for dinner and I'm really gassy, okay?
What does that mean?
I don't know. It means what it means. I ate pork and I burp a lot.
Welcome back to the Great Mates podcast. If this is your first time listening to us, we are a bunch of young Australians who usually talk about our lives here in Australia and sometimes pop culture and the internet. I'm Josh, and with me tonight I've got Nick.
Hello.
And Olivia.
Hello.
Long time no here.
Yes, I've been places.
It's been a time, huh?
She's been everywhere, man.
No, not really. But yeah.
Just limited places.
For me to record.
Yes, that's true. Ah, dear. So yeah, unfortunately, I believe Bin was supposed to be here, but he won't be. And, well, we were gonna have someone else on, but, you know, things happen, and
Life happens.
life happens. Shit happens. Nick, I know we had the survey that came out last week when we were recording, and we had the link up and everything. I hear you have results.
I do. So, last week we ranted for a decent amount of time about news.com.au's so-called discovery of what Australia's favourite chip is. They said it was Smith's original whatever.
That's
and
a
we
lie.
said that, we said that was fucking bullshit. And I jokingly said, hey, we should do our own survey. And then I did. So it was up for just under a week. We had 38 participants, so not the 50 that they had.
Damn.
And not the 100 I was hoping for. But there are results. So I asked people what their 1 to 3 was, and then they could put 4 to 10, and I tabulated it all, scored everything via Eurovision style scores. So 1 gets 10 points. So if like number 1 favorite gets 10 points, 10 favorite or like least of the 10 gets 1 point. It was all tabulated out, and I can officially announce the Great Mate's favourite chip is Thins, Light and Tangy.
Really?
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my god, light and tangy is the best flavour. I know I wasn't on last week's episode, but like, holy shit.
It also depends on how I tabulated, because I asked for brand and flavour. Because you can also have like... Well, number 2 was Smith's Salt and Vinegar.
Oh.
And to say the difference, it was 105 points for light and tangy, 101 points for Smith's Salt and Vinegar.
I wouldn't be
So there
angry
was only
with either
4
of them at
points.
top, honestly.
But, so I asked for brand and flavour because, you know, you could also have like a Red Rock Salt and Vinegar, which was 19th. But officially 3rd is just generic salt and vinegar.
Wait, generic? Salt and
Just
vinegar?
people that had just put salt and vinegar chips. They had not put a brand.
Oh,
So
okay,
if
that's
you
how
put that
you did
together,
it. Okay, yeah.
if you put that together, that's 187 points. So the outright favourite, if you combine Smith's Salt and Vinegar and Salt and Vinegar. But also, people didn't follow my instructions.
People never follow instructions in surveys, let's be real. But
and then for those... I was like light and tangy. I thought that we would have like a kettle chip up there, which I mean 5th is
people like
Red
a bit
Rock
of
honey soy
crunch.
chicken.
We love a crunch.
Yeah.
So I remember Red Rock honey soy chicken, I believe, was 10th on last week's survey, and then on mine it's 5th.
Oh.
So...
I thought everyone would be sick of honey soy by now, honestly.
Yeah. Well, as a tangent, which I sometimes feel we should take the SciShow tangent way of like punishing people for tangents, but honey soy chicken chips were seen as healthy in my primary school.
Huh?
Are you serious?
Yeah, they
How?
went through a whole like healthy canteen redo, and they got rid of all the chips, and all you could get was Red Rock salts or Red Rock honey soy chicken.
How is
That's
honey soy
just stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like
Yeah.
they didn't substitute like grain waves or like when those came in or anything.
This was like pre-grain waves, I will say.
Okay.
Oh, this is a world without grain waves.
A good world.
Oh
Which-
my.
There were some grain wave lovers in this.
Ooh.
Grain waves. Where were grain waves? There's probably an easy way. Oh, there we go. 28th.
Okay.
Only 2 people had put it. But they were a number 1 and a number 4. So
Okay.
also Smith's original on this came 12th. Also,
Well,
that's not
look who's
including
laughing now.
that's not including the joke submission that was just Smith's original 1 through 10 except for 2, which was something else. So, but that one got deleted because no, that's a joke answer. Other great answers were Samboy chips, which no longer exist.
Wait, Samboy doesn't exist anymore?
I have not seen them in years. I only presume that they don't exist.
What the fuck? I love Samboys. Oh, that's so
I'll
sad.
have a look.
That's so sad.
Samboy chips.
It says it is.
Yeah, apparently they still exist.
Okay,
They're
I'm gonna
just-
hunt them down next time and like buy them at the shops because I'm so sad. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them in years and I totally forgot
they're-
about them.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yes, Josh?
So they're all... So the only one available everywhere is barbecue flavors Samboy?
Apparently
Everything
they
else
were
is in-
discontinued in the early 2000s
Uh-huh.
and came back
Then
in
they were
late
Lazarus resurrected
late
in-
2008.
Oh.
But they're now only exclusively available in IGA stores.
See, that would make sense.
Mm.
Oh, it does say, when I look, it does say Coles Online and Woolworths, so
Okay.
maybe in select locations.
Maybe.
Okay,
Whatever,
I'll
so
report back
I was wrong in
next
saying
week.
that Samboy chips don't exist.
I'll report back next week for my hunt for Samboy chips.
The elusive Samboy.
Yeah. Tomato flavour or bust.
Well, that's what was here. Samboy Atomic Tomato was the submitted flavour.
Yeah, that's like the best flavour because it's like you can't get tomato anywhere else. You can get like salt and vinegar and barbecue and like other chip
Yeah.
cuts. But like tomato is like quintessential like Samboy.
Oh, speaking of tomato then, did any other tomato chip come up? Like Big Red or something?
I don't even know what that is.
That is definitely a flavour I've seen before.
I know like tomato sauce chips exist. They're big in Canada.
Yes.
But I don't believe there was any other tomato chip. What else did we have here? Someone said hot chips, which that person can go die.
That's like a whole nother
I
category on its own.
I specifically asked chips/crisps, so no, bad person. Someone also put Ruffles, which is not available in Australia.
Oh no, you can get Ruffles here. I love Ruffles.
At Costco.
At Costco, yeah. They come in those like
Oh, okay.
massive ass bags that are like
Yeah.
family
classic
size, but then
American
you
size
down
bag.
a bunch by yourself and it's a bit sad.
And what was also me learning some terrible flavors of chip, like baked ham flavored kettle chips.
Huh?
Oh yeah, those are a thing.
They shouldn't be.
I've had them once, they're not great.
I can only imagine. My favorite of Mission Chili Lime did get three votes, a 10, a 9, and a 7 points, and came 18th. So is up there. Overall, there were 65 different chips submitted. So
wow.
that does include hot chips. So
Okay.
but yeah, some nice
That's some pretty good diversity considering
Mission
the
chili
sample
lime
size.
chips are nice. I'm happy other people like them.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall our top 10 were light and tangy, Smith salt and vinegar, Doritos cheese supreme, Red Rock honey soy chicken, cheese twisties, which was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Red Rock sweet chili sour cream, Smith's chicken, Pringles sour cream and onion, and Smith's barbecue chips were our top 10.
Okay.
So, some chip diversity, and also that original are not fucking up there.
Excellent. Nice to know that our listeners are not basic.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. Huh. I'll have to take a squiz at that data just to,
Yeah.
you know, for my sake, just to double check everything. But yeah.
Well, and like I said, there is obviously it wasn't the greatest survey because some people had submitted 3 answers, some submitted 10, so you will get slightly like that's not great data that way.
Yeah.
But also I was like, some people aren't going to be able to think of 10 chips.
Yeah, that's
which also isn't that
true.
hard. It's not that hard. But whatever, I was nice to people.
On the topic of food, Josh, you have a little bit of a thing with MasterChef this week.
Well, this came via Benea, who
This
is
can be
not
a Benea
here.
as well.
Who is in spirit? Here in spirit.
But yeah, you have a little
Here
bit
is
of
a
a
ghostly.
qualm or with the MasterChef. Do you want to explain?
Sure. When do I never have a problem with MasterChef?
For those who don't know, Josh is a very, very into his MasterChef. We've just started the new season.
We're 5 weeks in, and and I've sort of already given some thoughts in previous episodes, but the MasterChef Australia Twitter people know who I am and how I like to rip holes in production's never-ending journey of finding a cis white male winner. But this isn't that. So there is an article that came out on SBS, I think, not too long ago, just making reference to one of the contestants who has essentially become the mainstay person who cooks lots and lots of curry, and the Twitter community are a bit divided on that issue. Some people say that you should be diversifying, and some people say that you should acknowledge the fact that curry as a concept is very diverse, given its origins in India and South Asia. Let's also not forget that obviously through the diaspora you get different versions of curry, and then you get the colonial versions of curry, which are
Weak as shit. ...
unpalatable.
Well, I mean, even like you have a Thai curry, an Indian curry, a Japanese curry.
Yeah.
All are very different curries.
They are, a curry is a curry is a curry. They're very, very different. And, for my position on this is very much MasterChef, you have to think of it not as a, it really is a competition. You are there to win. So you have to have a strategy, right? And all well and good, we are only 5 weeks in. Of course, you're going to use your, what you're familiar with, the techniques that you're familiar with, the flavors that you're familiar with as a crutch. And that's fair game in the first, 4 or 5 weeks. But if the aim of the game is to become Australia's best home cook, as Channel 10 likes to promote this show as, making, you kind of need to diversify around this time to, to get ahead of the game and the challenges that people the judges throw at you and production throws at you. And Sandeep, the male contestant that has, been doing curries for quite a few weeks now. From what I've seen, he does have this sort of, he's using the crutch a lot, but I think he's slowly getting used to, incorporating different styles and, trying to be more flexible, but he's still leaning towards, the South Asian profile of flavors and, ways of doing things. So it should have cost him his fucking immunity pin this week, as we're recording. Because the challenge this week, it's Queensland week, so they made them do like a food truck service challenge, and he was...
How is that Queensland?
I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask Channel 10 and production. Cool. But he was drawn, so like in pairs, they go into different food trucks that specialize in different cuisines. Him and Tati, the Indonesian cook that I absolutely adore, both were assigned to an American food truck. So the American foods that they decided to cook were, I believe, buffalo wings and chili con carne, but the chili con carne was unpalatable. and that really should have cost him that immunity pin.
Yeah. Also, not super American.
Not super American. I mean, if we're thinking white American, yeah, it's not super white American. If we're going more,
culturally diverse,
like Hispanic American, Mexican-ish.
But when you think of like American food, even if you're not like, it's like burgers and barbecue, and wings
burgers and hot dogs and yeah.
Basically anything that tastes good with barbecue sauce.
Yeah, like a pulled pork slider or something.
Yeah. And I can kind of understand that he was trying to pull something out of his wheelhouse, but it failed miserably. So I hope that particular challenge was sort of helped him kickstart, diversifying or expanding his skill set in terms of flavors. And, there's probably another 8 weeks left of the show. So who knows what's going to happen. But I really hope that, what else is there? Like him and Tati and a few of the others, who have sort of still stuck around their wheelhouses for now, start moving, challenging themselves. That way, you get to become quite well-rounded, obviously, and if you win, then you can do whatever the fuck you want, because all you're really bound to is just this commitment to write I think it's a monthly column or a weekly column, I can't remember.
It always changes.
It always changes, but once you leave the show, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But if you're in this, you have to have some sort of strategy. And yeah, also Twitter has its favorite boy, South Australian Ben. Oh, Ben, we stan Ben, for his selection of floral shirts, and the fact that he doesn't get a lot of airtime compared to other people. So yeah, that's it. Oh dear.
I don't watch MasterChef, but that was great.
Look, if something like what happened last year, with white people trying to take, fuck me, don't get me started. If you want to, this is just in general for people. If you want to figure out what my thoughts were on last season, I have a Medium article, available that you can have a read and enjoy, I guess. Yeah. Speaking of TV shows, or things that never seem to end and keep iterating, Pokemon has begun diversifying its very interesting...
diversifying is I don't know how diverse it is.
It's just expanding into different sections that none of us would have
infiltrating the home.
Pokemon would have got into.
Well, what we're touching on is, even as Nintendo said, we gamified walking, now we're gamifying sleeping.
I do not understand the decisions behind
I get
that.
it, it's a sleep tracker. I get the aim of it, and I know in Japan there is a big issue with productivity.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get people to actually sleep will be good, but also at the same time, as Rubber Ross said, you're fucking asleep, you don't need to be entertained.
So for context, Pokemon had a Pokemon Direct the other day, and they essentially announced a couple of different what would you describe them as? A couple of
Applications.
Are they
most
applications
of them-
or products?
Most of them were phone apps.
Yeah, so essentially a bunch of new phone apps. One of them that they announced that has been the subject of many memes is Pokemon Sleep.
And that is what it is called. That is what they have called it. That is not like the internet's name for it.
No, there's a logo and everything.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
goodness.
legitimately called it Pokemon Sleep.
I'm going to take a look at this logo. Hang on.
Yeah, so
sure,
essentially,
but keep going.
Pokemon Sleep is meant to help enhance the sleeping experience by adding Pokemon for some reason, because, like, what were we missing?
This shit is hilarious.
What were you missing
Also,
to help you sleep? Pokemon.
They missed out on calling it Pokemon Go to Sleep.
Yeah, like, big mistake, Nintendo, first of all. But yeah, so essentially, Pokemon Sleep, I think, is meant to help you track
Yes,
your
it is.
sleeping pattern.
It is a sleep tracker that
Okay.
will somehow incorporate Pokemon. That is where people are not quite sure about that.
Yeah, so they essentially have that. It's coming to phones and like other things, I'm assuming, in 2020. They also,
yes, that was the 2020 announcement.
yeah. So they also have Pokemon Home.
Pokemon
as well,
Home, which is
I know a little less about.
Yeah, it is it's a connecting service, so we'll connect Pokemon Bank on the 3DS, which you can store all your 3DS Pokemon games, so X and Y, Omega, Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. So that will connect those to this phone app called Pokemon Home, which will also connect to Pokemon Go, which will also connect to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which will also connect to Pokemon Sword and Shield. So this will allow you
It's gonna connect to all of us, and it's fucking terrifying.
So this will allow you to transfer all Pokemon previous to generation, like post generation 3, so you can have generation 3 Pokemon upwards via transferring from generation 3 to generation 4, generation 4 to generation 5. Generation 5 was what allowed you... Pokemon Bank then allowed you to go 5 to 6, and then all that can now be transferred to Sword and Shield. But you can't transfer anything backwards. So anything from Go or Let's Go will be stuck.
You can't. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not backwards compatible?
There is no backwards compatibility.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yes, I mean, you would literally break multiple games if you try to introduce backwards compatibility, unless,
Well, also it's not in the data.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that was my biggest disappointment about Let's Go. I was like, on Pokemon Go, you have Generation 2 to 3, and most of my Pokemon are Generation 3 on Pokemon Go. But I can't do anything with them. I can only touch my Generation 1 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Okay. I'm having a read of these articles about...
Yeah, another issue I found with Pokemon Home is because it connects to Pokemon Bank and not the actual games themselves, you have to have an ongoing Pokemon Bank subscription, which in Australia I believe is $13 a year. And because there hasn't been a 3DS release in 2 years, people's subscriptions are going to have expired, and people are going to spend $13 to transfer their Pokemon to Sword and Shield. And I'm going to have to do this because I have games full of shinies and legendaries and event Pokemon.
Oh,
So,
dear.
Congratulations, Nintendo/Pokemon.
Take my money.
You get my... I've had a gift card on my Nintendo account for a very long time now, ever since Pokemon Dream Radar came out, because it's what I wanted. I wanted Dream Radar, but you had to buy it online. So I got a Nintendo gift card.
Aha. Goodness me.
So hopefully I still have $13 on that, so that I don't have to spend any money. But then you're going to maybe have subscription fees for home, which I hope not, because you're going to have a Switch membership, which is $30 a year.
Ooh.
It's quite cheap.
Wait, Switch Online?
Yeah, Switch Online.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's $30 for an individual. I think I've got it for $60 for a family account, which can have up to 8 people.
Why do you have a family account?
Oh, because I use it with my boyfriend.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. I see.
But yeah.
That makes sense.
It's a decent price. That's like a Costco membership.
Well, also, it's a lot cheaper compared to Xbox and PlayStation, which are like $120 a year.
True.
That's very true.
But yeah.
But also, you don't have the free games that Xbox and PlayStation provide you.
Like
Nintendo
on a monthly basis.
Yeah, like
right?
on a monthly basis.
Nintendo, you get like NES and maybe SNES Classic games.
I mean, you get Tetris 99, which is the most intense battle royale ever.
You do get Tetris 99. So,
and I'm really hoping they release some other games because, yeah, it's like that's the thing. Unless you have online
access to Smash.
Yeah, unless you have like games that are compatible online, I don't think it's really worth getting Nintendo Online because like Smash, I understand, like Splatoon and stuff. What else? Like ARMS, I don't know.
Yeah, ARMS, Mario Kart 2. I know Overcooked 2 has online capabilities now, and like a handful of other games. But like, unless you have like a handful of those, I don't know if it's really worth getting the online subscription. Yeah. Well, that's like I haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
I looked at getting it on the weekend, but I didn't get it.
Fair enough. I
will definitely be getting it for Pokemon.
I recommend it. Like I have fun playing Tetris and like being online and stuff anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm not great at Tetris, but I was like, you know what, it'd be fun. So I'll probably get it at least for Tetris 99, and I know it'd be good to have like one more free to play game on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Even if it was only a freemium game. But having something else like a card game or something, I don't know. But yeah, it'd like just to have like one more selling point for
something to appeal to the masses,
service.
Really.
Yeah. Or they made their free game collection a little bit better than here's another Mario port, because I have played like 3 different ports of Super Mario Brothers now, and I still don't like it that much. But whatever, Nintendo, just pump out the same shit and not actually give us 64 or GameCube remakes.
Oh, GoldenEye.
That's all I want is Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. I just want those 2 games. I just want to play those 2 games because I've never properly played those 2 games.
Speaking of Nintendo, I don't know if you guys as invested as I am, but I know E3 is coming up I think by the time this episode comes out, it'll be in like a couple of days. Do you have any like games that you're looking forward to, or like you'd hope to be released or something? Because I know, for me personally, I'd love to hear more about Animal Crossing on the Switch.
That event, oh my goodness. If they do release Animal Crossing on Switch, they have to... I wonder if they can do some sort of like... I'm sure they can. If they can do the... Whatever is the mobile app thing for Animal Crossing?
Pocket Camp.
What is it? Yeah, if they can do some sort of like integration, I'm sure people would...
I think people would be happy with that, but I feel
be keen for that.
Yeah, I feel like
I
that's
don't know
too
how
distant.
you could... Yeah, I don't know how you could include it. Plus it being so freemium.
True. And that's the thing, people pay money, like microtransactions for that game, so I'm not sure how that would really work within the realm of...
Well, that's...
I mean, they're going to do it with Home and Go and the...
Yeah, but that's different. That is a set price where everyone buys into it. This is not pay to win because you're not actually winning anything, but I mean, you technically could, and because it's not a pay to win system, it doesn't matter. But
I mean, there's not really any winning. It's just leveling up and just getting bigger and better.
It's just like building your village. So, but this is a tangent, but I saw a thing about Nintendo's, because Nintendo are releasing Mario Kart on the mobile device.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it is pay to win. It is 100% pay to win. The faster characters are behind paywalls with like 1 in 300 chances of winning that character and kart, and like everything's broken up. Like if you've played Mario Kart 8, you know, like your body, your wheels, your glider are all separate.
Yeah, so they give you different different not abilities, but like stats. So
you'll have like higher acceleration versus top speed, traction, whatever. So yeah, so that they've actually looked into. And what was it? Super Mario, the Super Mario game that was on mobile.
Super Mario, like Mario Run.
Yeah, Super Mario Run.
That made no sense.
Yeah, but it made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, that's because everyone loves Nintendo. They know they'll make money from it, like, despite how stupid the idea is. They're like a money-making machine.
But then Nintendo came out, especially after Animal Crossing, and said, we don't want to do, like, pay to win. And then they've done this with Mario Kart. So, yeah, Nintendo, good work on completely not following through on what you said. But yeah, and Animal Crossing on the Switch could be interesting, and if there was some mobile to Switch interactions, would be good.
Like, I wouldn't be too fussed about that because I gave up playing Pocket Camp. But yeah, no, I reckon that would be good because they did announce that back last year when they did announce it, they said it was going to be a 2019 launch, but I'm kind of iffy about that considering we're already like halfway through the year with no further information. Like, I'm hoping for a release date at E3. They could be taking after Western companies and doing this game is available today
holiday.
I mean, true, that would create a lot of buzz around it, and I know they did do that at the what was it, the International Video Game Awards or something earlier this year. But yeah, so fingers crossed we hear more about.
That's how they dropped Tetris 99. They went, Tetris 99's available right now. For me, I just want, and this is more from the Nintendo Direct coming up in a couple of days as we record, I want to see some final evolutions for Sword and Shield.
Same.
I also want to see the regional bird Pokemon.
I just kind of... Have we not seen the regional bird Pokemon yet?
I think we saw it, but like not too
Maybe
well.
like a frame or two.
Yeah, so like I just want like the usual
It'll be
Pokemon
like
staple thing. So like my evolutions, my bird Pokemon, my weak ass, like evolves at level 20 Pokemon, rat creature thing.
Yes.
Do
we get bug? I'm sure there'll be a bug one.
Yeah, the original bug.
Do we reveal evolutions at this time as well?
I don't know.
Not unless it's Mr. Fairy evolution.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
That was the
they're
only
gonna
one that
hold
was
off for a while for evolutions.
Also, I don't know if they'll do evolutions this game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
last
hold
generation. We only ever had evolutions 1, 2, 4, and 6. Technically, being 8, the pattern does follow that we would have evolutions.
Yeah.
But I think they've got like a good number.
Oh, there's a haunting.
Oh, do I hear voices?
I hear voices. Oh,
shit!
This ghost. Oh, this ghost.
Oh yeah,
this ghost.
Ghost.
So yeah, some Pokemon news would be good. There's supposed to be some news on Halo, which I would be keen to see, but also I ain't buying that game for at least like 2 years. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's the thing, like, I don't play a lot of games, to be honest. Like, I buy games like 2 years after release, and the only game I've put like decent hours into recently is Fallout 4, and that came out
a long time ago. But I was waiting for like Game of the Year edition and bought it, and then found out like 2 weeks later that it was like half the price I bought it for. Oh well, I've been playing the hell out of that. On it, when you like load up your game, it tells you how long you've been playing for, and I've got like a full week of gameplay in it. So which isn't actually that bad for me. Like, I remember Pokemon White, I had 2,000 hours in. Yikes.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into that game.
Oh, God.
It could probably be getting close to 2,500 now. The amount of, like, breeding and stuff I've put into that game. But because it was so playable, because there was so much replayability in battles. Like, I was just leveling up Pokemon to level 100 for the sake of it. So, but future Pokemon games have not done that. They haven't had that much, like, grinding to them. You've had to, like, grind with wild Pokemon, which ain't as fun as just, like, the big stadium and small court in Gen 5, where you would just, like, battle 10 trainers in one room. But whatever, that's a sidetrack.
Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say there was also a ghost before who said they were excited for Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. It's going to be cross-platform, as I can see. But I haven't really seen anything about this before, but it looks pretty good. Very futuresque, as the title suggests. Story-driven open RPG of the dark future. That sounds pretty good. It sounds similar to I'm feeling like Devil May Cry vibes for some reason. But yeah, the art looks fucking stunning, and it's made by the people who did Witcher, so like it's probably going to be good, and there's like probably a bunch of people who are super excited about it, but
there are a lot of people
very excited.
Yeah.
However, there were some delays that got announced for it. And the game was first announced in like the early 2010s.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be on the previous next gen, on the previous console. So
like, fingers crossed there's like no more delays.
Yeah, it's very much the same as like Beyond Good and Evil 2, where it was a game that was coming for a long while.
Oh god, no, that was.
But apparently, it was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, didn't that happen with what was the new one that came out recently? Kingdom Hearts whatever fucking number they're up to.
3.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, like, they created it for the previous generation of consoles, and they took so long that now on this generation of consoles, it's like a little bit buggy, is what I've heard from a lot of people. But yeah, that's the thing that I'm scared of with this.
That's been notorious lately, like games built for the previous system.
Yeah, and then just taking like ages for them to...
Yeah, a lot of delays, but yeah.
Yeah, and
so,
it's like at that time you're playing catch up with the technology, really.
Yeah, Cyberpunk was supposed to come out this year, but it's believed to be postponed to April 2020 for release.
Oof.
Oh, God.
Just because of art. No, well, it wasn't art. It was technical issues, I believe.
It's always fucking technical issues, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, everything's technical issues.
Difficulties.
But yeah, like another one that's coming out, I think, next month. I've always wanted to check out Fire Emblem. And I did see the trailer for this, I think, when they announced it. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think they might have more information about it at E3, if anything, like fingers crossed. But yeah, I've always wanted to check out the Fire Emblem story because, like, I know there's so much, like, history and lore behind it, and there's, like, a bunch of characters on Smash Brothers that I have no idea who they are, but they're in all these games. But yeah, no, Three Houses looks really interesting because I think you can choose... It's basically like Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff, in that you have, like, red, green, red, blue, and yellow house. And I'm assuming, like in previous games, like my very limited knowledge of previous games, I'm assuming you have to choose one of the houses to go with and, like, battle for them, essentially. But yeah, but it does look exciting. And, like, the graphics and, like, art for Fire Emblem are always stunning. Like, the buildings and characters that they design are always so intricate. And so I'm super excited. Like, hopefully I can check this one out because, yeah, it'd be good too. And I've heard a lot of things, like, good things about it from my friends. So, yeah.
The other thing I wouldn't be surprised to hear about would be a N64 classic.
Oh, yes. Like the mini versions that they've been releasing in recent years.
Yeah. There was a patent for a mini N64 controller last year, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Whether that be a placeholder patent or an active patent, but yeah, I don't know what games would be on the N64 mini because there's so many decent games. Plus, you have the Rare issue where Rare is owned by Microsoft, and so them giving Nintendo, like, Banjo-Kazooie is not super likely.
Yeah. And that's, like, the thing that people go for is the nostalgia value for these. So, like, I think a lot of people would be disappointed, especially if those games weren't included. But, like with licensing and everything, it's fair.
Yeah.
And because they did release the mini... Was it the mini PlayStation 1?
Yes, which was a mega disappointment.
Yeah, because I was tempted to get that. I've got the mini Super Nintendo, but yeah, I know I haven't touched that for, like, a while now. And I'm hoping that any other mini console that they release is a step up, I guess, from...
Like I was kind of saying, it would have to have, like, Super Mario 64 for me to actually consider buying it.
Yeah.
Which, being a complete Nintendo property, you would hope they would have it. What else would I want from a 64? I don't know. Because... Well, that's the other thing, like, I could say all the games I have on 64, but I already have them, so I don't really want an emulator for them.
I know, it's like, you've got the genuine thing right there, why not just...
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have...
Use it.
Pokemon Stadium, I have... Do I still have Superman 64, or did I lose that? Because fuck, that game's terrible and unplayable.
But yeah, like, let's just, fingers crossed that they take a long, hard look at themselves and try to make.
But also, that thing's going to be hella expensive. They're going to be throwing a lot. Like the original NES Classic was 100. The SNES Classic was like 120.
Yeah.
This thing's going to be like 150.
Yeah, Nintendo just like to milk us fanboys for money.
They do.
Oh, the other thing that Nintendo will probably be announcing is their 2 new Switches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
what's the deal with that?
I'm kind of bracing myself for it, but like I'm not really setting my hopes high for any new console improvement. Like that might come, I don't know, later this year.
It's the belief is that the cheaper console will drop at holidays to coincide with Sword and Shield, because a lot of people are going to be wanting Sword and Shield and not having Switches.
Yeah, it's a smart business.
So there will be a cheaper Switch released. The problem is people aren't sure if it will be handheld only. Like, people are like, will it be handheld only? Which the problem with that is it's going to make playing games like Super Mario Odyssey very difficult that have parts where you have to be playing in docked mode.
Does Super Mario Odyssey have bits where you have to play in docked mode?
Well, you have to have your Joy-Cons detached.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So, having Joy-Cons that aren't detachable
is going to be a bit of an issue.
Difficult.
Yeah. Like, especially considering that was their like whole ploy.
The other things that they could possibly remove is the IR camera, which the only game I believe that IR camera is used in is 1-2 Switch. So that
was useless. 1-2
they
Switch
can pull that out.
Fluke.
The HD rumble they could probably also remove and just have a normal rumble in it.
Yeah, I wish a lot of the games would have like different options, especially like you said, HD rumble. It's so stupid. It's good for some things.
I think it could be utilized a lot better.
Yeah, like it could. So essentially, HD rumble is just like rumbling on steroids. Like, you know how your controller usually shakes a bit? It's that, but like super sensitive. And some of the games that I personally had an issue with where you just can't turn it off, and it's just like intense rumbling. There's like no in between. So like distracts from the game a bit, but like it's a minor thing that I'm just kind of like, eh.
So yeah. A cheaper Switch to be released with Sword and Shield, and then a souped-up Switch to be released around April, people are thinking again, that's going to have better memory, better RAM, like doubling the RAM in it. I think it was more just RAM. I think it was mainly RAM updates, which means you're going to get better frame rate on the TV, which doesn't matter because I'm blind and I can't tell the difference between frame rates. It's true. I cannot, I can tell when frame rate's shitting itself, but like definition and frame rate, I can't tell the difference. Like, I can't tell the difference between like 720p and 1080p. So why do I even bother with 4K? And I can't tell the difference really between like 50 and 60 frames per second and that. So I don't care. I'll just play at lower stuff and happily deal with it.
Fair
but
enough.
Yeah, so two new Switches to be released. What else has been used gaming wise? That's really all I've remember hearing that I've actually been interested in.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it until E3 announcements inevitably come in, but I think I might do a little spiel on that when when everything happens, if there are any exciting announcements.
Yeah, I'll probably do my usual watching Ubisoft, watching Bethesda, watching Microsoft, and then maybe watching Nintendo. Problem is Nintendo's so early.
Yeah, we'll get around to...
Most of them start at like 11 a.m., but like Nintendo starts at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, because they always do it to American times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. It's a very video gamey
very much so.
episode.
Well,
a very video
Olivia and I
gamey
enjoy our video games.
It's a very video gamey way to end the episode.
Oh dear. But yeah, I guess we should start wrapping up now. And we'll probably start with recommendations. So, recommendations, if you haven't realized, we do them now as part of season 3, where we just recommend literally anything to you. So that's either movies, games, podcasts, people that we find interesting, TV shows, literally anything. So, Olivia.
Yes.
Who's your recommendation?
My recommendation this week is another video game that I've been... Okay, I've got 2. The video game that I've just finished this past week is called A Plague Tale: Innocence. It's on cross-platform, so PlayStation, PC, pretty sure Xbox as well, maybe. Super lovely game about the Black Death and a lot of rats.
Okay.
This is in France, and I won't say any more than that. It's a very story-based game. I really, really like it. It's not too long of a playthrough, but it's a very enjoyable story game if you do like your stories. And the art is beautifully done. It looks like it looks like it could be a AAA game essentially with the graphics and everything. But yeah, that's my first recommendation. Second recommendation is Netflix movie, Always Be My Maybe, starring,
oh my goodness,
starring Ali Wong and Randall Park. Highly recommend. It's just your like soppy rom-com feel-good film, but it's got Keanu Reeves in it, and I'm not going to say any more other than that. But if that's not enough to get you to watch the movie, I don't know what is.
Can I add very quickly?
Yes.
I watched this last night, and when we got to the Keanu Reeves bit, I was just like, this movie is wild.
It takes the piss out of itself.
Yes, there's a lot of ad-lib. So
yeah, those are my 2 recommendations.
yes. Okay, and where can people find you?
You can find me at 8BitOlive on Twitter.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nick?
So you said we can recommend anything?
Yes.
Does that mean I can recommend my cat?
Sure.
I mean, you could.
I mean, no.
Yeah. I mean, that's more just the check out my Instagram.
Yeah, I was about to say, just promote your Instagram because there are pictures of Cat on there.
Yeah, I think this week I had 3 posts after he was sick last week, including his weird half-shaven legs and stuff.
Aww.
Go laugh at him. He's better now. He's being naughty. So, no.
Back to his old self.
Yes, back to his old self. He's rolling next to me at the moment.
Aww.
So my actual recommendation is the only anime I have actually ever properly enjoyed, and the anime I grew up on, remembering being a kid and having like a 1 VHS a week to watch. Well, 2. I would get 1 Pokemon VHS and 1 1980s Astro Boy VHS.
Oh, Astro Boy.
And that, like, Astro is still like one of my idols, one of the people I look up to, even though he's a tiny robot that has a machine gun in his butt. But still, I'll always laugh about the machine gun in the butt.
Great way to describe Astro Boy.
Well, he's got a laser finger and a machine gun in his butt.
Laser finger.
But yeah, I don't think it's appreciated enough by younger people.
Fair enough.
Like, it doesn't hold up great, but it's like 30 episodes, 40 episodes.
Oh.
So it's not that long.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'd find it, because I have it all on DVD, so... But it has to be somewhere. You can probably get it on, like, Crunchyroll.
The ether can help out with that.
You've got the wide open internet.
I believe you'd be able to get it on, like, Crunchyroll or Funimation or some other anime streaming service. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because it's a real good show, and it's 80s, and... Like, no, it's not 80s. It was released in the 80s, but it's not 80s, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's just, it's really good. People, go watch it. I'm begging now. And if you do want to see my cat, you can check out my Instagram at Nick Landcroon. That is also my Twitter. Twitter's not as interesting as Cat though, so go check out Cat.
Speaking of anime, I've heard the Ghost has a little bit that it wants to share, so we'll see what happens. If the Ghost has the audio prepared, it'll come after the boops.
Okay, I am the ghost who haunted this fucking podcast this whole time. My recommendation for this week, because I really wanted to talk about it, but I didn't get to go on the podcast, so whatever, I'm here. Is I want people to go watch the Giguk video, the Mother's Basement video, and the Bonsai Pop video about classic anime, what makes classic anime, and is classic anime dying. I don't think this is just important to anime fans such as myself. But I also think it's an important conversation to have overall when it comes to art and to media. What makes it classic? What makes, I guess, might cause a quote-unquote classic to die, or the classics to die. I think that's a very foolish statement to say the classics die, because they never do. Homer, all of his stuff is still around, the Iliad and the Odyssey. You still have Shakespeare's works. You still have all these other classic literature stuff. That's never died. That's been hundreds of years. I think I guess I personally fall into this camp of the classics of anime aren't dying as such. That's just becoming more niche because we have so much more anime now to consume, and there's so much different genres of anime that it becomes hard to go back and watch what's considered classic anime, right? So anime a place further in the universe, or I'm gonna butcher this, Hitori Bochi no Saikatsu, these kind of anime you're not gonna find as a quote unquote classic anime, right? But and I feel like people who are into that anime are probably not going to be into what we consider classics, right? We consider things like Cowboy Bebop classics, we consider things like Neon Genesis classics, we consider things like the fucking Serial Experiments classics, or Code Geass even, to a point. Although I feel like when we talk about classics, it's kind of the 80s to the 90s kind of era. That being said, I think it's where we are, we're at this point where it's as anime fans, if we are that deep into anime, which I am, and I know a lot of people are, we will go out and seek the classics ourselves, right? I went back and I watched Cowboy Bebop. I'm going back soon to go watch Fist of the North Star, which I've been told is amazing. There's a lot of anime that I feel like what we considered classics are so niche now, because there are people who are really into Gundam and into stuff like that. And they go back and they watch again the original Gundam stuff. But you're not going to have people who are watching romance stuff go back and watch Gundam. You know what I mean? Anime started off as a very niche thing, and now, in 2019, it's just this massive industry with so much, just so much content. It's insane. And there's something for everyone, and I think that's what's more important. I think, that's what's, more important. That's it. Go watch those videos, because it's really cool, and engage in the conversation like I just did. Goodbye.
Oh dear, this ghost better get its shit together. I swear to fucking God. Just casually throwing shade at a ghost who forgot to edit this music episode that was supposed to come out.
This hypothetical episode?
Yes, this hypothetical music episode that was supposed to come out during summer, but didn't happen. So, there's that. And my recommendation this week, and probably just very quickly, I'm just saying this for Brandon, purely for Brandon, is goddamn Nathan Foley from High Five can get it still. My recommendation this week is a movie you can find on Netflix. It's called Love, spelled Loev. It's a South Asian queer film, romantic queer film, and I'll leave it at that because it's a roller coaster of emotions, as a lot of queer films are, but also, South Asian representation, queer representation as well. So it's like double-barreled.
I feel like my dad had that at his gay film festival.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, because it sounds familiar. The only reason I would know is if it was at one of the film festivals Dad helps organise.
Oh, okay. So it probably was, given that I think it was an entry to a film festival in 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, it's been a few. Maybe it's a bit later than when Dad started doing stuff, but maybe they held a screening.
Maybe. Yeah, it's really good. Go watch that. And if you want to come find me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Abang Pinoy, ABANGPINOY. Instagram, I'm leaving it quiet for a few months just to recharge. But with Twitter, you can come find me doing hot takes of MasterChef or, other fun cultural stuff that I find interesting. So there's that. And you can find us, the podcast, on both Twitter and Instagram as Great Mates Podcast. Go listen to us on Apple Podcasts. It's no longer going to be iTunes in a few weeks. Rest in peace.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, iTunes
is going to...
They're killing it off.
Buried forever now. So... can't say iTunes anymore. It's going to be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, TuneIn, basically everywhere you find a podcast, you can listen to us there. Go leave us a rating and review, 5 stars. I don't know where you're going to put reviews and 5-star ratings now.
No, they're still on podcasts. You can still do it on Apple Podcasts and all the other good things.
Oh yeah, we also have YouTube videos now. So they go up a week after the audio is up, just because logistically, and I just don't have the fucking time to sync everything. Apart from that, you can also leave us questions and interact with us on both platforms as well as on YouTube if you want to leave comments there. I haven't seen anyone leave comments there yet. But anyway, keep in mind, keep listening for something that is going to drop on our Let's Get Deeper feed. So we have Let's Get Deeper and Spoilers for a Day, separate feeds now on iTunes and basically everywhere else. Go sub to those and have a listen to the episodes there. And also in a few weeks, I believe, let me just quickly do a math, we are going to be 3-ish weeks away from our 2nd anniversary / 100th episode. So get ready, folks. I am trying not to hype this train, but you know how it is. Expect clusterfuck galore. And yeah, that's going to be it for us this week, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.